In recent years, German society's interest in Korean culture has gone well beyond K-dramas and K-pop. From learning the Korean language and enjoying Korean food to beauty and lifestyle trends, K-culture does not appear to be just a passing fad there, but has taken root as a long-term cultural movement. Today, we're joined by someone who is experiencing this shift up close and who is at the forefront of economic and cultural exchange between Korea and Germany. Antonia von Schönburg, President and CEO of the Korean-German Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Welcome, Herzlich willkommen.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be here.
We're very happy to have you on the program. So first and foremost, please tell us how you came to take up your assignment in Korea and what your role exactly involves.
So KGCCI is building bridges between our two nations on an economic level. We help mainly German SMEs to establish their presence here in Korea. And as such, the Korean-German Chamber of Commerce and Industry is part of a larger network of German chambers abroad with 150 offices in 90 countries. And I used to work first in our offices in Madrid and Barcelona and later in Colombo. So I came to Korea as part of that development within the German chambers.
Wonderful.
That's excellent. So now you've gone to those places to work. What were your impressions of Korea when you first came?
Well, the first impression, to be honest, was a bit of a temperature shock coming from Colombo. And I must say also, while not unexpected, it was quite strange for me that people were so reserved. However, I learned very quickly that reservedness is really a sort of honoring, respectful and very caring, actually. And I received so much support from my colleagues in my first weeks, and still after 10 months. So I'm really grateful. The warmth is in a different layer, let's say.
Now, temperature-wise, probably very different after coming from Colombo. But I felt, because I also came from Germany, I felt like temperature-wise, it's a little hotter in the summer than in Germany and a little colder than in Germany.
Absolutely.
Right. But as we just heard from your impressions, now which areas of Korean culture do you see are gaining traction most quickly in Germany right now? And do you think the Korean language or cultural skills help in business opportunities or in cross-border collaboration?
I wouldn't say there's a particular part of the K-culture that is especially taking off. I think it's the whole package. It's starting from K-dramas and K-pop, K-beauty being seen way more now. And I feel that this comes with a certain soft power. And so people are more and more interested in general in Korea. And now they also start to seeing the more economic part, the industrial part, the semiconductors, the innovation. All of that is, I think, seen now in Germany way more. And not only the people on the street, but also industries or companies are more and more interested in Korea. I think so far it was mainly probably China and Japan, just because of long-standing relationships. And I feel now there's more and more interest, and we've also seen that in more and more delegations from Germany coming. Actually, in May, one very big German company is coming with a delegation of 60 people. That tells you just how interested they are in the Korean market. And I'd say that is the effect of the soft power and the K content in general as a whole.
That is great to hear.
Yes, and let's talk a little bit more about you, actually, and your experiences here. K-food is hugely popular around the world at the moment. Even I hear we've done a few interviews in Germany where they've talked about K-food as well. How much do you personally enjoy Korean cuisine, and do you have any favorite dishes that you have while you've been here so far?
I absolutely love Korean food. Even when I was still living in Barcelona, I used to go to a Korean restaurant that was just around the corner of our office, and I had bibimbap like on a weekly basis. And even in Colombo, I had a favorite Korean restaurant where I would regularly go and eat their sundubujjigae, which was just so good. And I would literally walk in, and they would just look at me, say like the usual, and I'm like, yes, please. I was even making my own kimchi. At home, so I really got to liking Korean food, and especially now in the winter I enjoy sundubujjigae. For some reason is like my soul food, my comfort food, and in summer it's more I tend to more to noodle dishes, cold noodle dishes like bibimbap, gongguksu. So yeah.
Wow, I was actually getting goosebumps at your pronunciation.
Oh, thank you.
Sundubujjigae sounded so local, right?
Yes, yes.
Wow. And speaking of kimchi, kimchi is actually pretty similar to sauerkraut in Germany,
it is,
right?
Yes, yes. So I find there is a certain similarity, especially in winter when it comes to food choices. I think both Germans and Koreans enjoy the warm, the soups and the stews and just the comfort food and quite heavy feeling food. The obvious difference being that German food isn't as spicy as Korean food. I personally love spicy food, hence my choice for sundubujjigae and kimchi.
All right, now President von Schönburg, now let's talk a little bit about K-content, as you mentioned before. So when it comes to K-content, do you have a specific genre or some titles that you would recommend to other Germans or people around the world?
I think it's fair to say that the reason I'm sitting here now today is actually because of K-drama. I started watching K-drama in 2018 and have been a vivid fan ever since. I personally generally like lighthearted rom-coms, comedies. I like to laugh. Funny enough, though, I must say that the titles that probably impacted me most are rather on the heavy side. So one of my favorites is Miseng, just because I learned so much about Korean, especially working culture, that really impacted me quite a bit. And Mr. Sunshine as well. Again, you know, learning about the history of Korea. But yeah, I guess like many others, again, I love rom-com, and probably one of my favorites is My Lovely Runner. And so, yeah, I would say those are one of my favorites, yeah.
That's great to hear. And now, from your own perspective, what do you think has really fueled the growth of K-culture and the popularity of K-culture in Germany?
I'd say a lot of it has to do with aesthetics. The contents are very curated. They're also, I find, not as strong in their content as in violent. They're more lighthearted. They give way more importance to the personal relationships. And the comfort of it. So I find it, I literally, just like sundubujjigae, I find K-drama very like soul food comforting. And I think that appeals to a lot of person. Also the frequency and the structure I think is very appealing. So there's constantly, like basically on a weekly basis, you have new K-dramas coming out.
Right.
So there's a constant exposure. You can constantly pick a new one and find a new favorite. And also the fact that their limited series gives you sort of a closure at the end of the series, and you don't have to wait for years until a new series comes out or a new album comes out. When it comes to K-pop as well, I think that's very appealing, that you constantly have new material and can engage and follow your favorite artists.
So I guess there is a variety and enough supply for everyone who's into Hallyu or the Korean wave these days.
Absolutely.
Speaking on Hallyu and the Korean wave, do you think like the Korean wave has influenced German companies and how they view maybe the Korean market as well, or shaped their investment strategies?
So as I said at the beginning, I think the soft power and just the fact that Korea is in everybody's talking about Korea right now. Still, it gives a certain presence in media, and hence German companies are thinking more and more of coming to Korea, at least having a look at it, and what they see is an incredible, innovative country, very fast-paced, very fast scaling from idea to product, final product, and German companies really value this, and especially I see a trend in R&D, where again the fast pace of the Korean market is very interesting, and also where the incredible Korean talent really helps for German companies to invest here. And just literally 2 days ago, I was talking to a company that had started to grow their R&D department, and are now more than 30 people, and with interest in growing it more, just because it's such a great collaboration, such a good fit between sort of German engineering and the Korean bali culture.
And before we let you go, finally, could you share maybe some plans or initiatives that you want to share in regards to strengthening bilateral ties between Korea and Germany at your chamber, or maybe from the government level?
So we have, I think, 3 focuses. One is people, one is innovation, and one is sustainability. When it comes to people, for 10 years now, we've been having a program called Ausbildung. It's dual vocational training. And we're helping create the technical talent that German companies need here, in collaboration with those German companies, to kind of foster, again, sustainability in their presence here in Korea. When it comes to innovation, we're working more and more closely with startups. Again, the topic AI, the topic robotics, the topic of smart living is something where Korea and Germany can work very well together, and we're seeing it again in delegations coming to Korea, being very interested in the topics. And then we have sustainability. We are representing the Korean-German Energy Partnership. We're actually the secretariat here in Korea. And so we're regularly organizing events that have to do with renewable energies, that have to do with hydrogen, green steel, et cetera, et cetera. 2 projects that I'm personally really looking forward to is one on the 13th of June, our CSR. It's called Guided Walks, Guided Walkers, and we are matching German companies and with visually impaired people, so I should say representatives of German companies with visually impaired people, and having a beautiful time together with them, supporting their efforts. So we're really excited about that. And then last but not least, it's the APK, the Asia Pacific Conference. It is the biggest platform on a global scale for German companies in the region, in the Asia Pacific region. And we're expecting anything between 800 and 1,000 representatives here in Korea. It's an event that's been going on for 40 years. It's every 2 years. And for the second time, Korea is hosting and will be the organizers, and looking forward to having really an exchange on a very high level with CEOs flying in from Germany and all around the region, and our Minister of Economic Affairs and Energy will be here, possibly also the Chancellor. So it's really on a very high level, and it will give Korea a wonderful platform to present itself as the innovation hub, as a partner for Germany, long-term, rule-based, and with a lot of fit between our 2 economies.
So much to look out for in terms of collaboration and cooperation between Korea and Germany, and I guess culture plays a big role in that as well. So thank you very much, President von Schönburg, for your time today and especially your role in bridging Korea and Germany, Germany and Korea. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Vielen Dank.
Vielen Dank. 감사합니다.
감사합니다. And thank you, Walter. As always, we're going to have you back here soon.
I'll see you very soon.